Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Tulianos and brought to you by his huge book, The Bible of Bodybuilding 2. Over 700 pages packed with everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, and of course, PEDs. Get your copy today on Amazon.com. While you're on Amazon, go ahead and buy my book, Real Bodybuilding. What a great book. And now, all the way from Athens, Greece, please welcome the good doctor, George Tulianos. What's up, George?
Ron, I just learned that Andrea Presti is a new qualifier for the Olympics. He's second in a row Olympian. He's a European guy, a Panata athlete. Congrats to Rudy Panata for sponsoring another Olympia athlete on stage. Very ripped, very hard, very dry. I wish the best for him and with his coach,
Mauro Sassi.
Mauro Sassi, yes.
Yeah, great coach. I like Mauro a lot.
I told you I met him on the lift of the Planet Hollywood, and they told me, we know who you are, Dot. That we've been following, the shows, obviously. And of course, Mauro is a very good friend of Milos that we're connected.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a small world,
Yeah, I'm thinking next year I'm going to go to either Greece or Italy, but I'm leaning toward Italy. I'll get to Greece eventually, but I can only go to one country a year. I think next year I'll do Greece, like Rome, Milan, Venice, all that cool stuff. Cause never been. Going to Greece, definitely. Gotta go to Athens. Gotta go to Athens before I die. Very important to me. Gotta see the Parthenon.
You and Rick, yes, you and Rick, I need to take you tour around the city.
Yeah. So you are now in the Rick Collins made a good post, the over 50 jacked dudes club. You're a part of the club now.
Also, you're part of the club.
Mike O'Hearn.
Rick is 63, yeah? Phenomenal.
Yeah, Rick looks great.
He doesn't look like this, and he's strong as a bulldozer.
Dude, he's got 20-inch arms, Rick Collins. He's got a nice full head of hair. He looks fantastic. TRT. Yeah, TRT is for the win. So, yeah. All right. Well, speaking of which, boy, we get a lot of questions. I think summertime we get like double the questions of a normal time of year. So let's kick it off. This is a good question. Is a noticeable bicep vein genetic? I went to World's Strongest Man contest. Even some of the strongmen have one showing, even if they're not lean. Mine is nowhere in sight, even though I have a few upper abs showing. So he's talking about that big bicep vein.
Yeah, this is called cephalic vein, and this is the basic vein. So this is the cephalic that goes in the middle of the biceps, along. I think it's a matter of how well trained you are in time. So you need to be mature enough. No, it's not about getting lean, but you need. I mean, I don't know how many years this guy is working out, but obviously you need to work out for a couple of years, at least perhaps a decade, in order to reveal the anatomical structure that everybody has. Everybody has a cephalic and basilic vein. It's not just about body fat, but also how well trained you are.
Yeah, I do think there is a genetic component because some people can be
variations, yes,
fatter. Some people can carry a lot more body fat and they still have veins showing. And if you remember Flex Wheeler, even as lean as Flex ever got, you never saw a lot of veins on Flex Wheeler. But then look at someone like Paul Dillette. He had like spaghetti veins all over the place. It was just almost disgusting.
Well, when I was super lean in my early years as a fitness competitor, I could see on my chest the last week some veins over here, or they told me that in my traps or in my lats there were a few veins, It's extreme.
Yeah. Cool. I remember the first time I saw a vein on my quad, I almost cried. I was so happy. It's like, oh boy.
And now we have plenty, and we have plenty after 50 because we have trained for 30 years. So it's about maturity, I guess so.
Yeah. All right. Next one is regarding my previous questions. This is someone that asked you a question before. Taking half an IU of HGH daily for 3 years for tendon support, would before bed injections be best?
Yeah, before taking bed, you have a better recovery. And they say, well, it shuts off your own production. The point is, after your 40s, you don't expect to release that much of GH because it declines. So you can use it before bed. I'm also using first in the morning and before bed.
Yeah, I mean, half an IU, I've never heard of anyone who only takes half an IU. I've heard like one at the lowest. Wow, half an IU. He's trying to make that pen last. Next one is, Does it make any sense to train the tibialis anterior muscle, the front side of the lower leg? We call it the shin
Yeah.
in the US. There are devices that apply weight to the front of the foot, and the tibialis flexes your foot up and down at the heel. Or should we stick to calf raises for the rear calf muscles?
I think this shows really good from the front, just from the front, and it shows some volume of the tibia. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I mean you stimulate the muscle as you walk downhill because it's like a brake you put into your feet. And if you don't have developed tibialis anterior, then your calves from the front look skinny. Apart from the gastrocnemius, from the other side.
Right.
Oh well, some people do not have gastrocnemius or soleus, so what we care about tibialis anterior. But I guess if you also have tibialis anterior, like the Cutler, for instance, then you have massive calves.
Of course.
Unbeatable.
You've seen people train them. I did it once just to screw around, but on the leg extension machine, if you just roll your foot up and down on the roller pad at the bottom, roll your toe, I should say, like flex. Is it flex
Yes.
or what's the other way? Flex your
Oh,
foot
you
up.
can take a dumbbell and do it like this,
Yeah, you could do it. There's a lot of things you could do. So yeah, if you have no muscle, nothing there at all, I guess I would train it. But
better walk downhill.
Yeah. I mean, can you remember sometimes when you had to walk downhill when your legs were sore, and it was the front of your shins that really got even more sore? Like
and when you walk downhill, you stimulate the quads.
Yeah. Walking downhill is actually tougher than going uphill in some ways because
uphill stimulates the hams and the glutes and the calves.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Next one is, how can I lower my platelets? I guess he means platelet count. Are there any supplements that can help with that? Blood cells?
No, but you can deactivate platelets with aspirin and fish oil, but you cannot lower the amount. So there's no, I guess this is something that happens when you take toxic drugs and you lower your platelets. Something not good because you don't have then hemostasis, meaning the process of clotting when you need to clot after you have some hemorrhage. But you can deactivate your platelets in order to avoid thrombosis by taking aspirin and omega-3.
Okay, cool. Next one. What is the best way to inject 250 milligrams of test undeconate, Nebido? One shot of 250 per week or split into two shots of 125 per week?
No, it's every 2 weeks actually because this is a half-life. So it doesn't kick that fast within 1 week. No. You can do it every 2 weeks. And this is actually the proper duration.
Okay.
It's very slow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All these people are talking about it. I've never seen Nebido in the USA. Never. Not once. So why would we want it? Here we go. How long can I and my girlfriend use compergoline without side effects on the heart? Can we use it all year round? If not, how many months can I take it? How long do we need to take a break from it? Also, what's the safest dose of compergoline?
I don't understand why this obsession with compergoline. I mean, prolactin shouldn't be low, shouldn't be high. Also, it can be mid-range, but why you have this obsession? I mean, women raise prolactin when they lactate, all right, after birth. But men, I mean, when prolactin is super elevated, it can hinder the of an addict guy, the endogenous testosterone, or it can give you some anorgasmia, which is the opposite of premature ejaculation. Why to take Dostinex for life? I mean, I don't find any particular reason unless you have prolactinoma, which is revealed by an MRI, and in such cases, your prolactin is 3 digital. Okay.
If your prolactin is 3 digital, are you going to have erectile dysfunction? Are you going to have anorgasmia?
I mean, yeah, but certainly you're going to have gyno, I guess, and you need to remove your
nipples.
Yeah, exactly.
The gland. I'm sorry, not the nipple. The gland under the nipple.
Yeah.
You don't want to take your whole nipple off, guys. Okay.
And you need a surgical operation also in the brain because you have a prolactinoma. Okay.
Oh, geez.
Which is a benign tumor of the hypophysis. Yeah.
Gosh. So you need brain surgery. That's terrible. All right, Doc, you mentioned lycopene helps prevent prostate cancer. What milligram is appropriate to take and how many times per day? meals do I take?
I'm taking 20 milligrams, 2 pills. Okay. This also is contained, this carotenoid, which is antioxidant, is contained in the tomato sauce, in the paste, and actually in the cover, in the fiber of the tomato.
Okay.
All right.
So if somebody's eating like tomatoes every day or tomato sauce, do they even need to take lycopene, or do you think they're getting enough in their diet?
No, I think that they're getting enough.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people have salad every day with tomatoes in it. So I'm thinking you must be getting a good amount of lycopene in that. Do you take your 20? Do you take your 2 caps both at once, or do you split them up?
No, both of them with breakfast.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Hey, doc, for a cycle of 350 milligrams testananthate per week and 300 primobolan per week, would you recommend running Arimidex alongside this cycle? If so, what dosage of Arimidex would you start at each week? Or do you feel that 300 milligrams of Primo would be enough to prevent estrogen levels from rising too high from the testosterone?
I think you need definitely 1 or 2 milligrams. I would say 2 milligrams of anastrozole per week. And certainly, DHT derivatives are not considered as aromatase inhibitors, so they cannot do the job of an anastrozole. Maybe they have similar effects to proviron, but proviron is not known to reverse China or to lower estradiol like aromatase inhibitors, for instance. So they have mild anti-estrogenic properties, but definitely they do not cut off estrogens like the AIs.
Yeah. Once you have gyno, it's already started.
You need to use Nolvadex.
Will that reverse it if it's not too advanced?
It can. I mean, it has to mean, I developed gyno within 48 hours after injected a lot of HCG with testosterone.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
And I could reverse it in 4 days by taking 40 milligrams of tamoxifen every day.
Okay. Well, that's not a crazy dose. Question 1. This is a 2-part question. Number 1, he wants to know, do you get the same results from injecting testosterone over gel?
Yes, you do, but the point is testosterone with gel is not absorbed that much, so 90% is wasted. Therefore, you need more money in order to elevate the levels with this kind of material. The best way to absorb is the liposomal instead of the alcohol-based that evaporize and do some itchiness and redness to the skin. The liposomal is the state of the art in terms of absorption, and also the spot is very important. So apart from the testicles, because they are very thin, the skin, they have this plexus of veins. You need also to apply it in the forearms when the wrist is really thin and you have the veins.
Yeah.
You cannot apply the rapid into your belly if you're fat, into your thighs where you're not veiny, even into your shoulders. You need to be a bodybuilder just.
Yeah. I mean, if you have thick skin anywhere, it's probably not even going to be absorbed. Yeah.
No.
His second part question leads me to believe he doesn't know what TRT really means, because he says, what should you do after you come off TRT? You don't come off TRT.
Exactly, Ron. Say it yourself. I mean, this is the wrong. We never come off. And why? Because we don't produce.
Right.
It's not a trend to think just, I want to start testosterone. No. If you need it, you will start. And because you don't produce anymore, you cannot get it off. Okay, it's not for fun. Actually, it's a treatment.
Well, TRT has become a phrase used by, I'm going to use the word ignorant, because ignorant just means that they don't know. They don't know the reality. They don't know the answers. They don't know the truth. So ignorant people now are calling cycles TRT. They'll say, well, I'm on TRT. I'm on 750 test, 400 DECA, 400 trend. And they say, that's my TRT. And then I'm going to come off.
I told you that this is how it gets a bad reputation in the medical society.
Yeah.
Because you cannot stack it. Call it a cycle, but it's not TRT.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but I talked to a lot of young guys say, I want to start TRT. I said, what do you mean? Your body doesn't make tests? They go, no, I want to go on a TRT. I'm going to get on some tests, some DECA, some Trano. That's not TRT.
You call it a cycle, stacking cycle.
I don't think a lot of them know it. It stands for testosterone replacement therapy. You're replacing testosterone that your body no longer endogenously produces. So guys, I hope if you're listening, that's what TRT is. A cycle is a cycle. TRT is just testosterone to bring you into high normal levels, no more than that. It's not a cycle to become, big and huge and jacked.
Well, it has the side effect, let's say the TRT, but it's not the primary goal. It's a side effect to get bigger and stronger and leaner. A side effect of the testosterone, let's say, but it's not the main reason you use this, to be biologically healthy.
All right. Next one is, my question pertains to blood donations while on PEDs. Can or should a person donate blood when they're on PEDs? I ask, wondering what effect it will have on the recipient. Will the recipient be affected in any way by the presence of PEDs introduced into their blood? Will they test positive for PEDs after receiving the donated blood? Will the recipient have issues with their blood hematocrit levels after receiving blood with a high hematocrit level, as well as blood tainted with the PEDs that cause their hematocrit level to rise as well? Or is the blood somehow cleansed of all extraneous products before being received by the recipient?
That's why we don't transfuse it to sick people, but we phlebotomize and get it wasted. For different reasons. First of all, it's very thick, it's viscous, meaning that will cause circulatory issues to somebody who has a heart failure and his heart cannot pump efficiently.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that somebody has a thick blood and you transfuse it to somebody who has a heart failure that cannot pump efficiently. You kill it. Wow. Second, most of the steroid users, their liver has prolonged clotting factor called INR. Now that means higher bleeding tendency. Now give you this to somebody who has ulcer and you kill him.
Oh, wow.
That's why we waste it. Okay, the only case would be just use testosterone, a healthy individual, and you can give it to somebody who has HIV, for instance. It's so good.
So you just phlebotomize. You don't donate the blood.
And it's a shame to phlebotomize because some people are dying from anemia, or some people are dying from hemorrhage, and you throw it to the sink. It's a waste.
I mean, if you're going to phlebotomize, you could do that yourself. You don't even need to go to a.
Well, it's the same procedure that you just call it phlebotomize, but doing it yourself. I've tried it myself. My sister helped me, but believe me, nothing replaces hospital. At home, you cannot have the large needles.
That's true.
And my sister was trying 5 minutes to suck 50 ml of blood, but actually in 10 minutes in the hospital, they suck you 400. And our veins are so precious.
Yeah. When I've gone, when I do blood work, once I'm actually in the chair and they got the rubber tube around my arm, it takes them like a minute, 2 minutes to get like 4 tubes of blood out of me. But that's not, you would donate a lot more than that if you were donating blood, obviously. I'm just a big baby. All right, our final question. I can't believe we've never talked about Ozempic yet on your show. Ozempic, huge weight loss. Well, it's actually not for weight loss. It was developed for what?
That's the point. That's the point wrong. That they misuse it. It's for diabetic people who have issues with insulin resistance and become fat. But now everybody who's lazy bastard, is using this in order to starve himself. And then we run out of it for people that usually they need it in the first place. So listen, if you starve yourself, you're going to waste muscle. You need to eat some protein every 3 hours, 5 times a day. So it's not so smart not eating anything in a whole day, okay? Your metabolism will go down, you're going to waste muscle, and it's not a smart idea.
Oh, Ozempic, yeah, not really supposed to be for normal people who just don't want to diet and do cardio, but that's the majority of the demand for it, at least in the USA, is just people that want to.
They overprescribe the doctors, and now they're ruining the pharmacists because they cannot produce anymore, and it's all going to the rich people that are using it because they want to diet, and they don't exercise, obviously.
Right. I mean, I think it was because Hollywood celebrities started using it.
Yeah,
once those people have a big secret to weight loss, everyone's like, oh boy, that's what so-and-so uses. I got to get that. And then they all try to get a hold of it. But the question is, they want to know, is it safe? So it was developed by the FDA. We have a very long, difficult procedure to get drugs approved in the United States with the Food and Drug Administration. It's like a 7-year process. So I assume it has to be safe. They didn't find any crazy side effects.
Yeah, in low dose, yes, I guess. How much is in 1 milligram? But the same work is done by metformin. So it gives you satiety, cuts off your appetite. Metformin improves your insulin resistance.
Yeah.
And this is super expensive, the Ozempic,
Yeah, well, that's why the Hollywood people, the movie stars, are the ones that made it popular because they have the money and whatever anything that's available that they can use as a shortcut to looking better, they're going to do it, because that's their image is everything. The way they look is everything. What about effectiveness? I guess from all accounts, it's very effective. Correct?
It is effective, yeah. But as a bodybuilder, I want to eat every 3 hours just protein, for instance, and salad. This is the best way to diet.
Yeah. I haven't
Not
heard.
like, yeah.
Have you heard about bodybuilders using it? I haven't heard anything about.
I don't think so. No.
No. I mean, we got
Even people who follow fasting perhaps, but guess fasting when you exercise, and especially when you're in a bodybuilder.
OZEMPIC. Wow. So he said pen. It comes in a pen like GH and like
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen it yet. I don't plan on ever seeing Ozempic.
Now, if Madonna uses a pencil, gives a fuck, okay. Madonna is 100 pounds. She's not the perfect example, of
she also almost died.
She looks lean, but I don't like this perception that because a mega star uses it, we all like sheep. We should follow this example.
Yeah, she just got out of the hospital from a bacterial infection. And they never said what happened, why she had a bacterial infection. I wonder if it was she does a lot of things to her face and her body. So who knows? Something went wrong, I think, with Madonna. Yeah, Madonna di Ciccione. Anyway, that is our show for this week. We did it late night over in Greece this time today. Doctor's looking pretty chipper for what is it, 10:30 at night over there?
Yes, 10:20, yeah.
Oh, good Lord. All right, well, thank you, Doctor, for staying up. Appreciate it very much. Guys, follow him on Instagram at Dr. George Souliatos. If you like these videos, please hit the like, share them on your social media, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications, both here on YouTube and on your phone, so you get all the notifications of our great content on this channel, Muscular Development. If you have questions for Dr. T for next time, well, we'll get you. Just leave them in the comments.
Michael Palmieri, who was the organizer of the Art Education at Olympia University, and they said that there's going to be another one in Florida. So we're just looking for a sponsor to make it more solid. And most likely, I guess I'm going to book my tickets for Orlando.
Yeah, Olympia University. It's coming up. I mean, it's July, but these months go by.
Well, email to Dan, of course, because I need his connection in order to get the VIP gold.
Oh, yeah. Dan Solomon. He's the man. Yeah, I think because the VIP's already sold out. But he has a few. He keeps a few on. He can. Sure, he can get you one if he really wants to. It's his show. So it's Jake's show, but Dan puts the whole thing together. So yeah, I mean, I hope you make it out again. It's Olympia University. It's good that did the Arnold education thing happen this year or no?
Not this year, but we're hoping for next. I don't know, but it happened 2019, 2020, and 2022 3 times.
Okay, so we've really missed one, too. Okay. Well, let's hope it all comes together and they get a sponsor and good to go. I never get to go to those. They're always like while the judging for something is happening, but I do follow up on the posts later and see.
You never been to Florida before for Olympia? You've been, I'm sorry, 2020.
Oh, no, I've been to Florida for the Olympia 1991, 2000, was it 20 and 21?
2020.
And then 22, they brought it back to Vegas. So yeah, the first Olympia I ever went to was in Orlando when Lee Haney won title number 8, 1991. That was my first Olympia. That was great. Rich Gaspari, Lee Labrada, Vince Taylor. Oof. Samir Banu was in that show. Yeah, Robbie Robinson. We still had a lot of the old guard.
You should write a book also, your biography.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till I'm retired. Because some people might be upset if things I have to say. We'll see. But your new book is coming out very soon.
Yeah, by the end of the year, and I'm closing the chapter of the last Olympia.
Yep.
Of course, you're referred also Rick Collins, Bill Wellings, Blackman.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate the shout outs. Cool. All right. Well, Dr. George, we thank you. One of the only doctors in this world who has all the experience of a bodybuilding champion and all the knowledge of a medical professional, a medical doctor. We're very, very fortunate to have you every week. So thank you so much, George. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching Ask Dr. Testosterone. We'll see you right here again next week. Bye-bye now. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.